Hello and welcome back to the Bacon Bites. My name is Seth Bacon, and we'll be getting today kicked off here in just a moment. I'll let some more people come in and join us on the chat. If you're here and want to say hi, go ahead and drop something in the chat. And if you're catching this later, feel free to drop a comment down below. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Had a good week. It's been a good week. It's one of those weeks where you look back and it's hard to believe it's Friday. I felt like accomplished a lot of good stuff going on at work, and so that's good. As you may hear, the kids are going down for their nap, and so that's always fun and exciting and a part of streaming during this time of the day. So anyways, if you have any questions or thoughts as we go through this, feel free to drop them down in the comment. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through and continue on what we talked about with the Power Apps and the Power Platform. The last time what we did is we walked through creating a Power App, or actually sketching out a problem, right? So the problem was, how do you value something, essentially? And so what we said is, if we're going to value a property or a location, and with many people either evaluating apartments or other things, that's what we wanted to work through is how do you know you're getting the best deal, or how do you know you're getting the one that you should value most, right? Because your drive is going to be different. If you take the bus or transit, that's going to be more important than if you're taking a car, right? And so what is that transit time and stuff like that? Also, is there other locations that are important to you, whether it's whether it's a soccer field or a sports field, it seemed that you're either going to watch and go to the games, or again, maybe not now during COVID, but what does that look like if you're on a softball team or something like that, or if there's a religious location, whether it's a church or something like that you're attending, making sure that you track in all those. So anyways, got a lot of good feedback. Had a couple of people jump in the chat last time, which was really nice. And so that was really nice to see. So feel free to drop a comment down below and we'll interact. We did have somebody come in and talk a little bit about, I was going to pull it up. Nope, not that one. This one, let me pull it up on email. But we had somebody reach out with regards to just some questions. And it was some really good questions with regards to, hey, how do you approach this? And I'm not finding that email right now. But let me see, is it somewhere else? Oh, there we go. So somebody that did something similar with apartments.com is what they had done. And let me bring this over here and make sure that there's no data that I don't want to share. Looks good. So somebody had done something similar, and they just shared, hey, this is what I had done when I was looking for an apartment. What are your thoughts on this? And so it was really neat to see this. It was really cool to see that somebody else had gone through this and taken into consideration other items. And what they had done is really, when it came down to weighting, is where are they weighting the scores again? So how important are these different scores as you're coming in? So similar to what we did on ours as well. And then again, how are you scoring this? And then where does it fall? And again, they were doing a percentile. So if we look at the cost, so of this cost, or of the total cost, where does that fall in the percentile, right? Is it high? Is it low? Is it medium? And so again, you see here that the lowest one, the total cost, is not always the one that may be the top of mind, or the one that you wanted to pursue. So it was that kind of stuff that I thought was interesting. It was just, again, somebody else had gone through this scenario. And it just wanted to show you and highlight what they had been doing and how that sort of ranks as they went through it. So anyways, good stuff. I appreciate people sending this stuff and reaching out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with ours in the Power Platform and build out a Power App. So where we left off last time, and I didn't get a chance to work on it this week, which is okay, is we went ahead and built out some tables. And if you haven't been around the Microsoft space the last week, they renamed things. So if you haven't been around the Power Platform, then this all makes sense. But they added this concept of tables. And so they did some rebranding and stuff, and there's been a lot of discussion around that. So that's been interesting to watch as you go through. So here we are in the make.powerapps.com, and so that's the builder. And so what we did is we went ahead and built out some of these different things. And so here you can see the ones we built out. We built the client values out, and I'll pull up the whiteboard and as we talk through this. So what we did is we built out a couple of tables. We built out a property table and the individual people, how they valued it, and then also the output as well. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to run through and enter properties. We're going to have values that are stored in there, and then what we're going to do is output those values. So this week, what we're going to do is go through and take and build out the user interface. So currently there's not a way to enter data. And so what we're going to do is take those fields and create a user interface as a part of it. So that's what we're going to work on. So here again are the different areas. And so what we're going to do, and I'll show you here, is we're going to build a model-driven app for now. So this is the back end. It's a relational database. Think of more of like the Access sort of interface. So what we're going to do is create that. What it's going to bring us up is we're going to build out this app. So first things first, what we're going to do is go ahead and name it. So this is going to be property administration, right? So we're going to administer the properties in the back end, and we're going to work through that. There's a number of things you can do. You can use a default icon. So you see this one here. You can actually upload. Should be able to click that off. And here I could upload an image and use that as well. Angry smiles. That's no fun. What about an anchor? A little flag or something like that? So I haven't uploaded a file, so we'll just leave it as the default, I think. I'm not seeing anyone that is jumping out to me. These are all very kind of boring. So anyways, we'll use the default one. That's somehow less boring. You can use an existing solution. So a solution is a container. We're not going to do that. You can do a welcome page on the app. So if you wanted to drop in a specific web resource, again, you can do that as an HTML file. So we won't do that for now. We'll just keep it simple. So the property administration, we'll keep going. And again, if you guys have questions or thoughts, feel free to drop them down in the chat. So what this is going to build out, and I don't think I have any other apps to start with. Yeah, not in this environment. So a sitemap is how somebody's going to navigate. So how are they going to navigate around as they go through this? So here I'm going to go ahead and we'll just name this. We're going to name this whole area. Administration. Again, this is going to be the back end. This isn't typically where a user is going to interact with the data, but that's going to be where it's at. So we'll go property management. And then here, so that's going to group. So we got sort of like hierarchy. We have a hierarchy going on. And then we have the sub area. And this sub area is where the meat is, and we're actually going to be interacting with it. Let me know if the music's too loud or not loud enough. We do have some music by Streamlabs or Stream Beats coming through, so that's what that is. Here we have. We're gonna do. We will do a dashboard. Right now, I don't have any dashboards built out, but we will have sort of a dashboard be the first item, and so we'll do that. I need to label that as a dashboard. Oh, where'd it go? So we'll click on that. Here. Okay, come on. For whatever reason, it's going slow today. And we'll label this as a dashboard. So here we have the dashboard. We do have a unique ID. There's a number of different areas that you can use as you come through there. So components, we'll do another sub area. So do a property management one. So we actually need the properties themselves. So we're going to do an entity, and this is where you're seeing some of those small name changes haven't been all the way through. So this is actually a table. So where do we want, which table do we want? And this will be the, I think we named it the TB, the bacon bites property. So that'll be, again, that's the property table coming through here. So we'll do that one. Also do the other one we wanted to do was the entity, and then we wanted the outcome. Do we just name it output? I think we just named it output. From that, so that's going to be the values themselves. And then lastly, we did have the customer values. What did we name those? Let's go back over here to our tables. Client values. Oh, where'd it go? Come on. There's the client values. And so again, what are the client's value as a part of it? So, so again, we have a couple of different things. And again, these are all fairly, it is simplistic in it, but that's not a bad thing. Again, the more simple you can make something, the easier. So I went ahead and save and close that. What that did is that, hey, Nord, it's great for you to join us. It looks like you had no idea. I think that goes back to maybe what we named it. And keeping it simple is good. I like it. So here we have the sitemap. We have the dashboard. So again, there's a number of dashboards that are out of the box going to be thrown in here. We're just going to go ahead and uncheck those real quick, and we'll just do an overview dashboard for now. And we'll leave it at that. So we just want the one dashboard. So here we're changing the dashboards themselves. So let's go ahead and save that. I'll go ahead and publish. So saving it saves the changes you made. Publishing it pushes it out to the environment that you're working in. So again, you have a tenant. So that's what you use. That's your credentials to log into an using Office 365, and then inside of that you'll have different environments. We aren't going to be using cases, so I'm going to remove that from our app. We also aren't going to use IoT alerts, so I'll remove that as well. So again, trying to keep this app very simplistic as we're going through here. So I'll publish that out again, and this time what we'll do is we'll actually play it, so that way you can see the changes we've made so far. And it'll take just a little bit extra for the first time. There is a new release that's been pushed out. It looks like this dashboard doesn't have any data, so we'll need to touch on that. We have properties here, and so again, we have a list of properties. But you'll notice here that we don't have, these columns aren't very helpful currently, and even though we've added additional columns, it's not currently on here in output. So again, it's using the primary field, as you see here, and then the created on, and so that's the only thing there. The other thing you'll notice is that when we click on these new, it really doesn't have all those additional fields that we put on there. So now the question is, how do we get that out there? So what we'll do is, again, we'll go back to the app designer. There's a number of places you could do this, but the one I like doing, it's in the app designer because it's all contained here. So if I click on let's do the properties ones first. So here, the property, we're gonna do that form. And we'll do the main form. And so what this is gonna allow us to do is this is gonna allow us to update what we just saw there from the user interface. So if you've heard of the term model-driven app, that's what we're creating here, is a model-driven app. So here I'm going to show unused. We can also show just the custom ones. So there's some out-of-the-box fields, but I'm going to just show the custom ones here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and drag these onto the design surface. So we have the kitchen quality. We got amenities. We just go ahead and click all the way through those. We did add the base one here. We don't need the base. So anytime you do a price field, there's this concept of currency conversion, and so it stores it in the price is based on the user that's logged in's currency default, or the currency field that's been set. Did that get in here as well? Yeah, so there's a currency field. So again, how that's defined in different places. And then we also have the concept of the conversion, right? So what is it in the base currency of the environment? So that would be a part of it as well. So, so here we've added all those different all the fields that we created ourselves. And again, these are all different quality items coming through here. And then one of the things I want to do is actually change this to 2. So I want to make these a little bit smaller. We don't need it as big. Again, we're using the address as a unique identifier, so I'm going to leave that one first. And then what I want to do is actually make a couple of subgrids. So if I go here, where can I add some? There we go. So we got tabs. So a tab will go across the top. So if we wanted to click through, I'll just add one up here. If we wanted to go through and do tabs, we could do that. We don't have enough information, I would say, to warrant doing tabs. So I'm going to just remove that, click the delete key. And I want to do, where are my sections? There they are. They're right on the top. I'm going to do another section, right? So this tab currently has 1. But actually, let's go to the tab. So I clicked on the outside, or you can click up here. I actually want this tab to be a 2-column tab. So now we have this tab, which is the outside, and then we have sections inside of that. And the sections can have different formatting. So here, what I did there, again, is I put this section back to be 2 columns, or 1 column, so it just spans across. So here we can now group these fields together to make sense. So maybe we have lot information, maybe put price up there as well. So we have the address, the price. We got some of the different variables going on. So is it move-in ready, neighborhood bathrooms, leave all those together, square footage, number of bedrooms. Yeah, so this, you can see here that we've grouped this information together. This owner field, out of the box, there's this concept of ownership of a record in the system. And so that's what this is it's who's the owner. That's not something that's going to be important for us. Again, if you wanted to track information, I'm trying to think if we could use this at all. Not even different sources where it came from would be good on this. An owner is a user in your tenant and in your environment. So that's where it's coming from. So we're actually going to hide, oh, come on. There we go, hide. So that's going to hide it from there. So you can see again, it's going to be hidden by default, so nobody can see that field as we come in. Here we have the opportunity to name the section. So if I want to name this section, what should we name this section? So we have the address, the price, the lot size, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, square footage, and then we have all the, we'll just call it all additional information. And you see that updated there. So I can either save this and continue to make changes and then eventually publish this out, or I can just click publish, and that's going to go ahead and save the changes and then push it out. So after that finishes, what we'll do is we'll close this up. But now you can see that I can edit this and make changes. You can imagine what that's going to look like. So the other thing I wanted to do is actually go to the next level. So while that's publishing, so here we have some different ways to input things. We can do it via a number. We can do a star rating as we go through an arc knob. So where's it down the spectrum? Radial dials, sliders, toggle switch. Where's some of my, I wanted some other ones. Table column. Let's do I was thinking number, that's not good. There's some more that I wanted to show, just to make it easier to input, but we may have to switch to the classic. So we'll do that here in just a second. So if we go back here, go to properties and click new this time. You see here that this property has been updated. So now if we wanted to say 123 Oak Street, and again, there's ways if you put in like the whole address, you could reach out to Bing and like map it and drop the map on here. Maybe we'll do that down the road. We're in the Seattle market, so everything's super duper expensive. Lot size, and again, if we hover over this, it'll be in acres. So if we say it's a 1/4 acre, number of bedrooms, we'll do a 3-1. So 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. Square footage, I don't know what's normal. 1,000 square feet. Does that seem like a reasonable house? Do 1,100. Again, the quality of the kitchen. Is there amenities? How many amenities are there? And again, we're just using this to test minutes from location. So again, this is a defined location. I think as I was thinking through this, we may want to go through and do a like location 1, location 2, location 3. So that way somebody can go through and determine that. So again, they could have 3 different locations that they're looking at. Minutes from locations, let's say it's 45 minutes. We'll say it's work or something like that. And it's moving, ready in a good neighborhood. So again, these are the kind of things where from a user interface, it's not bad. Somebody certainly could tap through this in a relatively quick way. Ultimately though, again, you'd want to enter this through an API. So connecting systems together and moving the data as you go through. But if we do want to make this interface a little bit slicker, that's where I want to go through and show you how to do that. So let's go back to the form. And I know I looked at these inputs and you can toggle the different inputs. So let's do a switch. Can I just do that over here? Move in ready. So if we do a component, so again, we're clicking on this, we can do a toggle, or we can do a flip the switch. They look the same to me. I'm not sure what's different. So doing a component, we can then say, does this work on the web? Does it work on a mobile? Does it work on a tablet? So again, you're controlling that user interface as you go through it. Minutes from location, what kind of components? Yes, maybe. Let's do a linear slide. And so there's a lot of options that come through here. Minutes, it's hold number that we're doing. So what's the minimum number? So again, you could bind this to an existing field. So it couldn't be less than type of thing. So the minimum one is 5 minutes, right? So I don't think you can get any closer than that. If we're gonna do a whole number for the maximum one, let's do 2 hours. So 120 minutes as we're going through there. And then let's do the steps. Let's do them in 5 minutes. That's gonna be a lot of steps in between there, but we'll give that a shot. Go through. Did I get everything? Good. So that's gonna let us go through and do a slider on that. Amenities. Again, this was an option set. Currently only let's do Canvas app. So let's publish those out. Show how you can make those changes. I do want to hit some of these other ones too, though. Yeah, some of these option sets. What we're going to do is switch to the classic. I want to show you those changes that we came and did just now. So if I refresh, I think you have to refresh the whole page and not just the data. So there's a little refresh here that it'll refresh the data here. But if we refresh the whole page, that should come through. There we go. So here you can see 45 minutes, and you can just slide this across as low as 5 minutes up to 45 minutes. Here's my yes, no, is it move in ready, being able to use the slider. And again, you can see how just those small changes make it a little more intuitive and a little easier for somebody to enter data in as they go through. So I'm going to bring this back over, and then let's go to switch to the classic. So the classic, I'm going to skip this for now. That was prompting me, hey, you're going to our old interface. Can you let us know what we missed as we're going through this? So that's what that was. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. It usually doesn't. Not sure why it's having a little extra time to think today. think this happened last time we were on the stream. Something was just taking a little bit extra to go. I'm going to put that off to the side. We'll keep moving as we go through here. Let's see, number of bedrooms. Is that something that we could maybe do a radial dial? An arc knob. That makes sense for a number of bedrooms. And so again, minimum is going to be 1. Upgrade your PC, more RAM. Yeah, I'll just download more RAM. That's how you do that, right? Just download some more RAM as a part of it. Number of bathrooms. And this actually needs to be a decimal because bathrooms, you can have a half bath and a quarter bath and stuff like that. And the static value for the max, 6. I feel like that's very high. And then steps, we're actually going to do these in 0.25, right? Because something can be a quarter bath and such. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll do something similar for bedrooms, but bedrooms we'll do it in a little bit different. So again, let's do an arc, again, an arc knob as a part of it. Minimum bedrooms. I don't think you have to technically have a bedroom, so it could be a studio if you're looking at apartments. So that's something to put in there. Bedrooms, again, we'll do 6 bedrooms just as part of it, and then these all need to be whole numbers because you can't have just a portion of a bedroom. And then steps, again, something is either a bedroom or it's not a bedroom, so it'll be a whole number of 1 as we go through there. So that's good. Again, lot size, we'll do a linear slider, I think is good. So do a linear slider. It's going to be whole number. It's going to be, actually it'll be a decimal again, like we talked about. And so the minimum value is, we'll do it in quarters. Actually probably a tenth. I think that makes sense. And again, this is where knowing your industry, knowing what you're trying to accomplish is best. So if this was going to be a whole acre, so if we want to say it's 20 acres, it could be. And again, we're going to do it in, let's just make it easy and just do quarters. Just to make things easy. Again, this isn't production. This isn't something that we're out there building for everybody, but for what we're doing and learning through, it'll be good. Square footage, I think we'll just leave that in as a number, and we'll go ahead and publish that out. That should get us close. And while that's working on that, the other screen did come up. And so one of the ones we were missing is looking at kitchen quality, sorry. And then we look at controls. We can add a control, and we're going to see a number of different controls that we didn't see for the option sets. So this is an option set. So this is the kind of option set I was looking for. Again, it's nothing too crazy. It's just sort of buttons here. And so where do we want to see it? We'll see it on everything. Amenities will do the same. And some of these controls have a limit on how many options they can display. 2 or 3 options. So again, that's a little bit different. We'll do a pick list control. Add that one in there. That should be good. Oh, source entity. Interesting. This may not be what we're looking for. Post load pick list control. It's not what I'm looking for. I think it's just the radio buttons. We'll give this one a shot. I don't know if this one's going to come through like I had hoped. We may have to go look for a different control. And then the neighborhoods. I think if we do the option set like that again, that'll be good. So I'll save that and publish this one out. So again, this is the old interface for the model-driven apps. But yeah, where have you guys seen use, or what's your favorite control for data and entering that in? Do you have one? The other place I would go is there's a gallery. The what is it? The PCF gallery. There's a website that has a bunch of these controls out there that maybe we'll get into and start playing with. Amenities had an issue. We'll have to look at that. But here you can see, so it was excellent, good, rad type of thing. So that's nice. I'm not seeing my arcs come through. Where am I? We're supposed to see some arcs for those ones. I'm gonna go ahead and revert back the amenities. And I think that was an error because we had too many options for that option set. So again, we have, no. Let's try it with the out of the box option set. So that may still have an issue. So we won't spend too much more time on this. Really just wanted to show you how you can change the user interface as a part of it. And so we'll get that one knocked out. And then let me go back and see what went on with our controls here. Arc knob, we published it. That may still have an issue, so we'll, there it goes. So just an easy drop option set here. Okay, we won't spend too much more time. I'll let that publish on the side. And we'll be good. So save that information. So the next thing you see here is we have some information about this address. This isn't a lot of information, and again, there's a lot more that's in the record itself. So what we want to do is bring that information forward. And what we need to do is change this view. So right now we have active properties and inactive properties. So what we're going to do is go back here to the app configuration. So we have the forms. We also have the views, and that's what the view is here. So here we have the active properties view. Currently we only see these couple. So here we can add in more things. So number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. What other components should we add in here? And I like this one because you can actually see the data that's coming across as a part of it. Let's put the price, because the price is always something people are interested in. Square footage. As a part of it, status record. We should talk about status reasons, because again, is this something that's available, or has it been taken away? I think we'll leave it at that, unless there's another one that you want us to add out there. Move in ready. Let's add that. We don't really mind when it was created, so I'm actually going to remove that. Select it and then click the remove in the top. Oh, did I remove the wrong one? Yep, I'm sure I want to remove that. Ah, it's recommending a different experience. Let's save that. It goes out. And here you can see you can add filters. So if I wanted to add a new view, I could say where it's active. You see that is the current filter. I could also say where the, and again, this would be a view that would be saved for you to reuse later, or anybody in the system could reuse it. I wouldn't recommend you changing and creating one here for ad hoc things. But if you wanted to say, show me everything that has over X number of bedrooms, or eventually we'll say everything that has over an X number of score, show that and bring that through. So we'll go ahead and save and close this. That should be good. And there's a tool out there called the XRM Toolbox, and I won't get into it right now, but what that'll allow you to do is go through and replicate that view to your other views. So that can be very helpful. I don't think I published that. So I'll go ahead and save it. And you notice I just selected and unselected it, so that way I could have the publish button enabled. Because even though I saved it, for whatever reason, it doesn't refresh this screen, so that way I can then publish it. So go here, if I refresh this browser window, looks like it did not get published out yet. Try it again. Nothing. Okay, let's see, make sure that change came through. That's there. Let's change the view. Maybe that'll, sometimes that goes through. Okay. That for whatever, let's go ahead and publish that. For some reason that didn't get published. Usually that, when you change the settings, it gets published like that. Okay, so we saved that, published it out, which is good. Now let's try to change it. Apparently I need to download more RAM. And the monitor size for sure makes a difference when you're going through this stuff. Oh, good. What else we got going? Oh, there it goes. I totally missed it. So there you go. So now we can see more information. The other thing you can do, and again, we won't do this maybe this time around, but you can do a chart. And so if I wanted to put a chart, create a chart here, I could see the number of houses that have different bedrooms and then use that chart as a filter. So we'll get some more data in here later as we go through that. So the next one we want to do is client values. So I'm going to go ahead and save and close this. And then client values, we'll change that form, change it up. So again, just sort of building on on what we've done. We've gone through and created some of these different, created the database, the underlying database. Now what we're doing is going through and updating the different charts and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and remove this owner. We're going to go ahead and hide that field. Here we're going to go ahead and see all the custom fields. And again, what this is doing is how are people valuing this stuff? So we'll just go ahead and do it all there. I don't think we need can I hide this one? Yeah, there we go. So now what we've done is we have another section over here. It is hidden. And so we have that, and then we have the amenities. And again, I think if I remember right, these are all numbers. And what we should do to make it consistent is actually, I should undo that. And I should move this over. So again, the kitchen was the first one. We had the lot size, minutes from location. So again, we're going to mirror it so that way people, when they're interacting with it, feel that same consistency as they're going through. So we had the name. Again, that would be, in this case, it's going to be whose priority is this. The price, the bath. I think we had beds first. Beds, bath, lot size, square footage. And then we had, I think we called this additional information. We'll go ahead and save that and publish. I think it was decimal, if I remember right. Or was it an option set? I think it may have been an option set. This is one of the areas oh, here you go. Yeah, so choice values. It is three choices, which is kind of nice to see that. So I think we've published that out. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the classic, because again, the classic has that ability to add those different buttons. And so we'll go back over there and do that. Wait for it to finish publishing out. So what are you guys up to this weekend? What are we doing? Are we watching the Masters? I think that's going on. I haven't had a chance to watch any of it yet, but hopefully. It's weird to have the Masters this late in the year. So the Masters is a golf tournament for the PGA. And so that's happening right now. So I know there's a number of people watching that and interested in following that. It's one of the, I think is it one of the 4 majors? So the Masters, the US Open, I think there's one in Europe as well. I couldn't name you the golf. The golf majors. Cert prep. Nice. So New York, which cert are you taking? The British Open. There you go. I knew there was one in Europe. The US Open. What other opens we got? The Masters. There's one more, isn't there? Maybe it's tennis that has the Grand Slam. You know, tennis has the Grand Slam. And the blank. Wait, yeah, I gotta come up with the last one. What would it be? Is it a West Coast thing since the Masters is on the East Coast in Georgia? So again, just turning all these to change the user interface as we're walking through this, talking about certification prep. Is it a Microsoft cert you're taking, or is it another certification? PGA Championship in the Open. Huh, so there's the Open, the US Open, and the British Open. But I know there's amateurs that play in the Masters, and I assume there's other... Oh, the British is called the Open. Okay. Is that the one they play in at St. Andrews? I think they play that one at St. Andrews. 240 FSA. Is that field service? Get that published out there. They change every year. Yeah, location A inserts. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but both are true. Yeah, field service. You'll have to let me know how the field service one is. I haven't taken that one. Taken the sales, the configuration one, but not the field service one. Wow. So it's kind of nice seeing this, but it's a little overwhelming. The other thing that'd be nice is if you could change the colors here. I'll have to look and see if we can't do that. So client one, so this is their values. This is what they value when they're looking for a property. So again, let's name this. So we'll name this Seth as we go through there. So this, again, if the coloring was different, this would be a little more helpful. But right now it's a little hard to tell since they're all close together. But yeah. But anyway, so we have that. We have the data in there. So now we got a couple of things. And again, what we want to do is probably come in here and add more views. And so we'll go back here to the client values. We're in the app designer again, going back to the views. We'll change this first view. Let's actually use the new interface that they keep prompting us. Let's try the new one. So it opens another tab, which is always fun. Okay, so this is more of the experience that you would get if you had gone and edited the tables here. So again, this is back in the make.powerapps.com and in the views, and you can go in and edit the views here as a part of that. So if I wanted to go in here, you're going to see that it's the same view as before. The other one, just a different way to get there. But again, the fact it prompts you to go to another one, just change it. Don't give me the option. I don't. And again, here's one that takes forever. In fact, I couldn't even open it. I think it's because I have it opened elsewhere as a part of it. So here we go, custom. Let's just go ahead and add everything. Just to get it all out there. But here you can see how long that view is going to be. It's going to be a little tricky as it's coming through. If you wanted to use this interface, as you're going through, you can edit the filters here. And so this would be the editing. And so if we wanted to add, again, a filter for just show me client values that the kitchen is a high priority, right? And so we could create a view like that. So if I'm working or administering the app and working with clients or just showing clients that have that as a high, that would be something you could do. Go ahead and publish that out as we're going through. We'll probably go for another 15 minutes or so. We'll see where we end up today. Here we have that. We have properties. We have one property. We have one value. So I think we're getting started there, which is good. And then lastly, the outputs. So again, the output currently is just a number. I think we had some additional numbers come through there. So let's go check that one out. Go back to the app design. There's really not a great back button on that one, it felt like. So in this form, we'll see what options we have. So here we'll look at the custom fields. Oh, okay, we did have a number of, so I think we talked about this. So a number of ways to score it differently. So again, we'll go through and do some editing of this form so that way we can come through here, bathrooms, bedrooms, client values. So this is a lookup. This is kind of a first time. We're going to put that in the header. Did that disappear in my header? Oh, there it is on the other side. There we go. Zoom out just a touch. So here, this one's actually gonna be in the header, right? So we have this output and we say, okay, which client was interested in this? And so that's where we're gonna bring that in. I think it was kitchen amenities. Lot sizes on the side. This one we need to hide, this owner field. Minutes from location, move-in ready, neighborhood, price, property. So we're gonna put that in the header. So again, that's the address that we'll see there. So we're gonna say how for this person did they view it, square footage, and then total value is really the outcome. And one of the key things that we want on here is that's really the key is what was the final number as part of it. So this primary field when it comes to something like this is really just a general label. So I would say you have to have a primary field, and a lot of we'll go through and not require this field, but it's going to be the field that appears in the top. So let's go ahead and just put in again. There's not a great. We just have ideas on what we should name that field. Let me know. We already have a client value field. We don't want to name that twice. Just call it name. Be simple. And currently, I think these are all unlocked fields. But again, what we want to do is actually push data into this as opposed to bringing it through otherwise. So we'll go ahead and publish that out. Good deal. And so now what you'll see, I don't think we need to publish that. We should play this though. The other thing we'll do is while we're in here is go ahead and edit this view. Active, I'm just gonna stay over here. Yes, I'm sure I want to remove that. Actually, I do want the new user experience. It was kind of nice just to go through and do the clicks real quick. Default. You'll notice here that this still says primary. And the reason for that is because we changed the label of the field on the form, but the underlying display name hasn't changed. And so that's something that's good to know and be aware of. Because a lot of times you'll change it and it won't change everywhere. And so people will do that and forget to change it at the core place. So I'll publish this out and I'll show you where we can change that at as a part of it. Good, so we got one person studying for certifications. This weekend, I think we're working around the house. And so just one of those weekends where you stay home and get all the things you haven't done for a while. So we may paint. We did the garage, cleaned the garage a couple of weeks ago. So that may need to be hit again and cleaned. So yeah, so fun, exciting weekend. The Mandalorian. If you're into the Star Wars things and have Disney Plus, another one's released. I think it's been neat watching a subscription service do it that way, where they have a release. It makes me excited for Fridays, an opportunity to watch that, as opposed to just binge watching a show all the way through it. And so that's really neat it's resonated with me because I enjoy the Star Wars stuff. So here we have the name, we have the values, the fields coming through. And so that's good. That's a good start. So here's where you would say, okay, what was the individual? And then what was the property? Did I pick the wrong property when we did this? I think I picked the wrong property field. Oh. Okay, we gotta remove this now. Okay, I'll show you how to remove something now, because not everything works. So the output, the form, we even relabeled it, I thought, as it comes through. So what we want to do is actually remove that. So remember how there was last week there was a field that was in there already, but we weren't sure which field to use. Can I remove this? Please let me remove this. Oh, I have to click on it. Okay, there's so many. Okay. So last week, when we wanted to create that intersect and that relationship, there was two tables already in there. One was called property, which was out of the box. It was already there. And one that we had created. And I wasn't sure which one was which. And so I picked the wrong one to add and create a relationship to. So what I'm doing now is going in through the classic, because in the classic, you can actually navigate to the property, into the field itself. And because it was business required, I can't just remove it off the form. They said, hey, it's on the form. You said it was required to store data in this database. I need you to go ahead and fill that out. So now what I did is I went through, turned that field to not be required. And we should now, in theory, be able to remove that from the field. What happened? Did you not get saved? Did I click through that too quickly? It's optional. Do I have to publish it? I think I have to publish it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So now I can remove that field, which is good. Now I'm going to save this and publish it out. I also have to go into that view, because I think in the view itself, we also added the property field. Yep, there's the property. So we should remove that. Client values, we actually probably, let's put that up here a little further. It's part of it. So we're going to save that, publish that out. So what we're doing is undoing things, because you can't delete a relationship, and the system won't let you delete something if it's been embedded somewhere. So there's that. So I think this will be, after we get this one unwound and put the property up there, I think that's where we will end this week. We'll go over to columns. So again, they changed fields to, they used to be fields. If I remember right now, they're called columns. And now if I go over to, if I'm in the right table, here's my property. So I want to delete that. And hopefully, if I've removed everything, or removed it from being on a form or a view and stuff like that, it will let me do it. So this is a good, it's a check to say, hey, you have data in here. And if you delete this column, it's going to delete all the data, just like it would in Excel. And so things to be mindful there. So be careful on on deleting fields. I recently had an interview, and I think it'll be coming out here soon, on the oops factor, and so by UI, and we talked about my worst mistake that I've ever made, and that was actually deleting a table in production. So if you're interested in more information on what happened, check out his podcast, or I guess it's a YouTube interview. Anyways, it's coming, and I'll be sure to broadcast it when it does come out here soon. Oh yeah, you still can't use a search on this, which is a lot of scrolling. Okay, there's the property. So again, this is the Bacon Bites property that we wanted to leverage. Again, we do want it required. So we'll save that. And then again, we're editing this from a different perspective than we had before. I'm going to close this. We'll leave the app open for now. Come through and save. So it's saved the table. Let's go to the forms. And here on the information, we'll go through and add that field back up to the header. There you go. Just thinking about it. Did I click too quick? Oh, there, got to add it to the bottom. Click and drag it to the header. That's good. Publish that out. The other thing I would encourage you to do, just as this is getting published, check out our updated website. So had a cousin help me with the branding, and so you may have noticed some of our branding has changed on YouTube, and then also our website. So we did go ahead and update the branding here, so hopefully everybody has an opportunity. I know I haven't written any blogs. I've been focused more on the YouTube side of things than the blogs and the writing. So again, we'll be getting over here and updating some stuff on the website. If you guys have any feedback on it, let me know around that. So let's go ahead and save this and wrap this up. So do I not have a player open still? We're done with this one. These are all the windows that have popped open that weren't added as tabs. And now I got to go back and just close them up to make it easier on myself. Again, we'll hit a dashboard next time. We're really just focused on building out that. There it is. What time we got? We got 2 minutes. We can do it. So the other one that you notice here is it's using these two fields, right? So it's using a couple of fields here. What that is it's using the lookup views. So if I go in here into my app and then look at the lookup views, it's again using the old view that came out of the box. But here what we can do is add, we can change that view. So do I want, right now it's going to be the primary field name. And then what other information would be important? I think that's it. I think that's all the information that we really need on that one. And I need to go back there and click publish. So what that's going to do is that's going to update that view. So when we do the lookup, it's going to just show that one field as a part of it. Here, we're going to do the same thing on properties. So I want to show the address. How do I want to make sure that it's the right property, right? So if I'm doing a lookup, maybe I look at the, people tend to remember prices fairly easily, and maybe number of bedrooms. We'll go ahead and add the number of baths as well. I don't think it's going to show. If I remember correctly, it only shows the top 3, if I remember correctly. I know it's at least 2. It may be 3. I feel like that was a change that they made recently. Okay, so we've made that changes. We'll go ahead and push it out. And then let's see if this goes. So there you can see that it's just the 1. And so again, that flattens everything. So again, there was this random graded on date that really doesn't help me select the right one. So that helps there. And then here you can actually see, there you go. So it actually does do up to 4 at least. What's interesting is it doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you a label. And so you don't know what 2 and 1 is necessarily unless you're familiar. Okay, it's bedrooms and bathrooms. And so if we did this, and again, what we'll do is we'll actually go through and run this as a number. Later, I'm just going to do so this will be the score idea that comes through. And so here we can see the total value. So the total value is a calculated field. And so it's going to sum all these. So we may want to move that somewhere else. Again, we need to hit that with here in the outputs. Honestly, this will be the last. This is what happens. You start getting in these rabbit holes and be like, oh, I just want to make this one more change. And all the changes only take 3 minutes. But there's, you just see additional things that you want to hit. So anyways, we will make sure that this gets published and out there. And we'll wrap the stream there. Hopefully you guys had fun on this Friday, the 13th. Some people that's a good day for, other people's it's not such a good day. If you watch The Curse of Oak Island, it's another TV show that have been binging over COVID. That was something that was really interesting, is just how Friday the 13th came about and the Templars and why that was a bad day, Friday the 13th. So anyways, thanks for dropping by. Drop a comment if you're watching this later, and we will connect next week. Later all.